Hi friends, today is Friday, September 5th, and this is Flosstube episode number 19. This is a channel all about cross stitch and other crafts. If you're new here, my name is Maggie and I'm from Northwest Arkansas. I have several things to show you guys today. A fully finish, a finish, a new start, restart, some haul, all the things, some albums that I've been working on. So just to give you a little life update, we've been super busy around here. I always feel like it's going to slow down and it never does. We have our two youngest boys have both started school. Jonah has started his fall semester at the U of A, University of Arkansas. And if you're new here, he auditioned for the Drumline there. The audition process started, gosh, back in April, I want to say, or maybe even earlier than that, February, I think it started. And he made the snare line, and so he's been practicing with them this summer. They had some grueling 12-hour days, like 9 days straight of 12-hour day clinics or rehearsals for a week, they call it, or the week, like a couple weeks before school started or before the fall semester started. And so that was pretty crazy out in the heat. But he survived that, and they all worked really, really hard to prepare for game day. And so right before the fall semester started, they actually put on, I guess it's an annual thing that they do around here, where they do like a rehearsal, like a final rehearsal for game day, and they do all their pregame. They do their pregame show and like all their little things that they do, and they open it up to they open the rehearsal up to the public, and so it's performed. They perform here at a local high school, and we got to go watch him. So they did the pre-show, like I said, and some other little things, you know, like all the Razorback things that they do. And afterwards, the percussion kind of gathered right in front of those bandstands and just did some fun little, I don't know, cadences, I guess you call them. And it was really, really fun to watch him. So I've recorded some of that for you guys. A lot of you have seen him in past videos, and you know, I've shared all of his crafting things that he's done. You've kind of followed along here on his journey, starting over at the U of A and throughout his percussion career. And so I thought I would just share with you all just a little video I put together of that night when they were just kind of messing around after the rehearsals were over with. So I'll insert that footage here. Also, just so you can kind of figure out where he's standing, you'll see a line. It's the entire percussion. You'll see the snare line is in front, and then to the right of them are the cymbals, and then behind them are the quad drums, the 4 quad drums, tenors. And he is on the snare line on the far right, third one in. So he's standing in between two girls. So if you can pick him out and watch him, hopefully you'll enjoy this. So you can see that they are just having a ton of fun. They had their first game last Saturday. That was the first time that Jonah performed on the University of Arkansas, you know, in the stadium, on the field, and it was fun. It was a fun kickoff to the season, and we got lots of pictures of him. I've actually been working on completing the albums for both of my boys. Actually, my youngest, Jacob, he started school also, and he's also in percussion. He is doing rack this year, which is kind of like all of the miscellaneous, I guess, instruments that fit on a rack, so they call it rack. And he really wants to, he tried out for snare and or tenor, and really wants to do that next year, but the director wanted him, really needed his talent and rhythm in that area, to help with the, I guess they have a section in their the halftime performance that they're doing this year is like really advanced in that area, and so she needed Jacob's rhythm for that. So he took one for the team and is doing rack, but he really wants to move over and either do snare or tenors. I think tenors is probably where he would love to be the most. But all that said, I've been working on their albums fall and into winter, like through Christmas. I spend a lot of time updating albums. If you guys have been around long enough, you know that I participate in October Daily and also December Daily, which are just scrapbooking, memory keeping projects where you document every single day of the month of October and then again in December. So those projects are coming up. I'm starting to prepare for those. And I also do the band. I update albums for both boys with all their band memories. So this one is the one that I chose for Jacob. It's this is a 6x8 album from Allie Edwards. This came from her Week in the Life project series. This year it's just a black album with this is actually her handwriting, which is really cool font that she shares with her community. And so I picked this one just because I thought it kind of goes with like school days. So that's the reason I have this one, but this is his, and I've gone in now since you've last seen me, just to share just hit myself with it, just to share what I've been working on. I've updated his album. There's him on the first day of school. He's a freshman this year, so that's Jacob. You know, so I just updated like events that they've participated in thus far. Here's him with his quad drums. Those are actually his own personal drums that he got for Christmas last year. So yeah, I think that's definitely where he wants to be next year. So fingers crossed. Say a prayer for him that he will earn a spot in the percussion line. So I've got his updated through tonight is actually their first football game of the season. And they're on a brand new field. They just, the high school here just redid their field and like redid the track and the field and everything. And it looks really nice. And they actually moved the band to the end of the end zone. They put some stands like behind one of the goal posts, and they're there, which is a new location. They used to be in the stands, like right next to us in the stands. So it'll be nice. I've got a long lens camera now that I invested in to take to the Razorback games and also to take pictures of Jacob at his games. And I should have a really good vantage points to take some more pictures to add to his book where their new location is during the games. And then this is Jonah's book. So this is his first, I started this one in like right when he started auditioning for snare at the University of Arkansas, and you can see like it's already full. Just put in a lot of his like you know, when we toured the school and all of that stuff, and all of his rehearsals and auditions, and then all the way up to like the band camps and everything, and then into like his first game. So I thought I would share some pictures. So there he is. That was on the field during halftime. We're just so proud of him. He is doing a fantastic job, and it's just so fun to see him on the field. So I've been working on the albums, just trying to keep up with them. To be honest, it's crazy, you know. I mean, basically it becomes a weekly project in the fall when the games start, because you know, we have new pictures that come out every time, and they have an amazing photographer that is just, I guess, just focuses on the Razorback band, the marching band specifically. And so I sifted through probably 300 to 500 pictures just to pull pictures that either Jonah was in, or, you know, it was just a picture of him. So they share that with the parents on social media. And so you actually have, you can go in and just flip through all the pictures and download any pictures that you want for free. So it's awesome. So I get every single one that he's in, and the snare line, you know, the drum line in general are featured a lot just because, you know, the drums look pretty cool. There's also 2 seniors on the line this year that are right in the middle of the line, and Jonah is next to them. And so I think a lot of the pictures are focused on them, but because he's standing next to them, we benefit from that as well, being able to get more pictures. So I'll take it. I mean, there's such good qualities. You can zoom in on the pictures really well, and they're not grainy at all. So yeah, I am loving that, because even with the long lens camera, you know, when you're that far away in the stands, you can't really get that close to, you know, get a good, clear, up close picture of him and the snare line. So I really appreciate that about their photographer and their program. So I finished this album, and I ordered, this one is also Ali Edwards 6x8. These are still available on her website. This is actually from her December Daily, like, Christmas collection last year. It is on sale right now. I think they're trying to just sell through them all. She just released her 2025 December Daily product launch, happened earlier this month or late last month. And so if you're interested in these, they are on sale, and she's trying to get rid of them as she goes into the new stock that she has. But I ordered like 4 of these so that they would all match. And I filled one up, and I'm going to start a new one. So I'm just going to continue on, just fill it up and go to the next one and the next one. And instead of just having one for his freshman year, sophomore year, or junior year, because apparently I print too many pictures, or I pack it all in. I try to include way too much, but I'm proud of him, and I just want him to have memories to look back on. I cheerleaded when I was in high school. I was co-captain my senior year. My best friend was captain, she was captain, and I was co-captain, and we had the best time. And I just have a few pictures from that time, and I would have loved to have had something like this that I could go back and even, like, I played softball my whole childhood, from like age 6 or 7 all the way through college. And I just have just a handful of pictures here and there, you know, just scattered about. And one of these days I may buy an album and just try to put one together of everything that I do have, just so that I have the memories all in one place. But that's why I do it, because I missed out. I mean, that was before, you know, we had everything digitalized on your iPhones, on your cameras. And we didn't have our own personal printers at home, and, you know, it was before all that technology existed. And I mean, a lot of the stuff that we had, if we had a camera, was like the throwaway kinds, you know. So I don't know, I'm just taking advantage of the tools and the technology that we have to make sure that, you know, my boys have stuff to look back on. So anyway, I just wanted to share a little bit about that. Also, if you missed it, I did recently, like 4 or 5 days ago, I was getting some questions because I post on Instagram. My Instagram is home.on.the.ridge. And I post a lot in stories there of things that I work on and stuff. And I shared some of those albums last weekend when I was working on them. And I always get a lot of questions about what printer do I use? How do I print pictures, like the size of the pictures, like there are different layouts that you can get in these page protectors from Ali Edwards. This one is like these are 2x2 pictures, so 12 on each side in this layout. And then there's some that have like two 2x3s and a 4x6, or even 4 2x3s. And so I get a lot of questions of how I print those that size. And so I shared a Flosstube extra of how I do that. And I talked about the apps that I use and the printer that I use, paper, cartridge, all the tools that I use to update the albums. I shared in that video. So if you're interested, it's out there and posted if you want to check that out. So what else is going on? Did I get everything? While we're still talking about the band stuff, the University of Arkansas did share the full halftime show and the full pre-show on their YouTube channel, and I will link those below if you care to see Jonah and the rest of the Razorback marching band, their first show. So every game they have a different halftime show. This one was themed, I think it was called, the theme was called Binge Watch, and it was just little clips of like the Jetsons and the Golden Girls and Friends, Flintstones. So just a collection of those songs from those TV shows, which is really fun. So I'll link those in the description box below. And if you want to look, if you want to watch, they're real quick, maybe 10-15 minute videos, and you can see Jonah on the field. So it's really exciting. We're proud of him, but I'll stop talking about that now. That's everything that's kind of going on. I have been kind of decorating for fall here. Usually I'm done with the fall, I do fall decorating in 2 stages. So I do like a fall, just like a fall themed first, and then like late September, I'll bring in Halloween, layer in Halloween elements with the decor. And so I've got most of the fall stuff done now. Usually I have all that done by mid-August, so I feel a little behind, but it has been nuts around here. I said, I think the last video, that I started a new job in like late July, I think. So I've been here a couple of months, and it is a lot. It's a lot. There's a piece of it that's new to me. I am a director of demand planning and analytics. So the analytical side, with report building and just monitoring sales and all of that, that's not new to me, but the demand planning side is. And so I've been onboarding with that, and there's just a lot to juggle, being at that level with two different fields. Basically, it's 2 completely different fields. So that's new to me, and it's using a lot of my brain power that has kind of taken me away from the crafty time and decorating that I love to do on my free time. Sometimes I'll come home and all I want to do is just like watch YouTube, or watch something on TV, or I've been watching, I've restarted the Gilmore Girls seasons with the anniversary. So I've been watching those a lot, and normally I'll stitch while I watch, but man, I've just not had a whole lot of brain power. But I don't know. So I'm behind in the fall decorating. I've got 2 more trees that I'd like to finish up before I bring out Halloween in a few weeks. So I was thinking, if you guys are interested, I know when I do share the trees and the ribbons, the ribbon that I put in my trees, a lot of people ask to see that process and how I do it. So if you're interested, I can record that while I decorate them, and share that in my next Flosstube. So just let me know in the comments if that's something you'd like to see, or I can include it as a Flosstube extra if not. But anyway, I think that's everything. I think that's everything I wanted to share before I got started. So the first thing that I'll start with is my FFOs. I got 2 little FFOs, and they're the sweetest things ever. I'm so happy with how they turned out. So this is the Trick or Treat pattern by Victoria Sampler. And if you remember, if you're returning, I had an idea to stitch some of these little sections here individually and just create some little pillows or little finishes for the haunted house shelves that I got at Michael's, which is this shelf right here. And so I had an idea initially to finish a bunch of things, little smalls, and just fill this up with handmade creations. And so that's why I chose these initially, because they are tiny. But now that I finished them, and I may still leave them in there this season, but now that I finished them, I have another idea that I'll share when I get to that pattern. Same thing. It's definitely cross stitch related, handmade things, but it's kind of a different direction, a different turn from an idea that I had. So I will share that here in just a little bit. So these are, before I share them, I did post a reel on Instagram of the process, some of the process of me putting them together, these little finishes here. So I stitched the Trick or Treat scene. So this one here, and also this one here. So I created a reel that showed that process on how I fully finished them, and I'll insert that here and then I'll show them to you. Here they are. Are they not the cutest little things? They're so tiny. I just love them. I love how they turned out. So I really envisioned just like I wanted them to feel like those little soft bean bags. You know that old vintage game, Toss Across, I think it was called, where basically it was like tic-tac-toe, and you toss these, you toss the little bean bags and try to hit the holes or play tic-tac-toe with it. That's kind of what I had in mind with this finish. I wanted them to feel that way. So I found some fabric in my stash, and I've actually shared this in the past, but I have a stash in a drawer down here of fabric that is this upside down? Let's see, it goes like this. That I just wrap on these comic boards. I'll show you this while I'm talking about it. I get this on Amazon, and I just wrap, they're like fat quarters, and I just wrap them and pin them on these comic book boards, and then I just lay them like this in the drawer, or they're just standing straight up in the drawer. So I found some fabric from my stash, and that was soft. I was looking for something that was fall related. I really wanted, initially I was thinking to find something that was like Halloween specific, but then I came across this flannel fabric that's really super soft and kind of thick. I got this at Joann's a while back. Actually, I got most of that fabric came from Joann's. When they were going out of business, I went in and grabbed up a bunch of remnants and stuff that they had. So that's where this came from. Speaking of Joann's, I saw a sign on the old building here locally that ours is gonna turn into Michaels. So I'm thrilled about that. We don't have a Michaels here locally. And the closest one that we have is in Joplin, which is like 45 minutes to an hour away from us. So I'm super excited that they're turning that store into Michaels. I heard that that Michaels bought them out or bought something. Somehow they came in after Joann's went out of business. So maybe that's why, but I'm thrilled that they're bringing a store in close to us, because I'll be in there all the time. Hobby Lobby is really the only store that we have locally right now. So excited about that. But anyway, so I found this fabric, just a flannel, nice cute little flannel that matched the front pieces. I'll show it to you like this first. The stitched pieces. So I thought that the colors were just perfect for these. Instead of, going the Halloween route, I just used this fall fabric. So how I finished them, you saw in the video, I backed them both the same with the same fabric, and then I used this glue right here. I had some Eileen's, I think it's called, but I don't know what I did with it. I found this stuff at Hobby Lobby and thought, well, I'll give this a try, and it worked great. So I also found this teeny tiny rickrack at Hobby Lobby, and so to back up in the process, so to stuff these, because I wanted to have that beanbag feel, the squishy, soft beanbag feel, I used this ground walnut shell. It's like ground walnut shells. Lizard, some people call it lizard litter. It's like bedding for habitats, I guess you call it. We don't have anything like that here. We just have a dog, so I don't know anything about it, but it just comes in this huge bag, and I got this at the pet store, like PetSmart, I think. So I used this to stuff it, and I just used my sewing machine I lined both of them with this stuff, both the backing fabric and the cross-stitched part, with this Pellon fusible mid-weight interfacing, and I got this at Hobby Lobby. And so you just lay it down with the rough side down onto the fabric, and you just iron it on, and it's quick and easy, and I just really like to use this stuff. So that kind of helps, I've read, so your stuff doesn't fall out if you're using that lizard litter stuff. So I used my sewing machine to sew. I stitched, I think I stitched the holes on the side. So I went, you can't even tell, I think it was this side. So I used the sewing machine once I got the interfacing on, and I put them right sides to right sides together, and then I stitched from here all the way over to the bottom and then to here, and I left a teeny tiny opening on the side here, and then I turned them inside out, or right side out, which took some time because they're so tiny that it was hard to turn them inside out, but I did it. And after that, I just took some needle and thread, some like white needle and thread, and just stitched the hole shut, like just manually. And then I used this teeny tiny rickrack from Hobby Lobby. I glued it on, but it's not like an instant, it doesn't adhere like instantly. So I put a couple of dabs on with the glue, and I laid it down over the seam, and then I used pins, and I just pinned it along. And so when I had it all the way around, I used the bottom. The bottom is where I made the rickrack meet, just so that it would just hide the ends there. But I had pins all the way around, and I just left it pinned until the glue dried, and it was probably 20 minutes or so, and it was dry. And then when I pulled the pins out, there were some places where it was kind of lifting, And so I just added more glue and put another pin in there and let it sit again until, you know, it was adhered all the way around and stuck to it. So that's kind of how I fully finished these. Let me show them both again. They are just the cutest little things. I don't know if you can hear how squishy they are, but they are like little bean bags. So it's exactly how I wanted them to turn out. They are so cute. Show you the backs again. And I'm definitely gonna do some more of the Victoria Samplers stitches because they're just so cute and small, and they fit. So this is kind of how I envisioned initially, because like I said, I changed my mind on how I wanted to, what I wanted to put in here. But initially I had said that I wanted to just fill this with different smalls. Let's see if I can show this to you like this. This is going to be hard to do on camera. Like that. So they're really cute. Oh, I knew that wasn't going to stay. And for now, that's how I'll display them with some other things. But I'll share with you later my new plan for that. So anyway, these are finished, fully finished, and I'm looking forward to stitching some more. Like I said, I think I want to stitch on this same pattern. I want to stitch this one with the scarecrow next. It's really cute. And then she has some others that are Halloween specific on her website. She has some Christmas ones too that are so amazing, like little tiny carolers and ice skaters, and just the scenes that she does that are so small. It's amazing how there's the detail in how small they are. It's like, it's crazy. But yeah, I really like these patterns, and I'm going to get some more of them. So that is my fully finished. The next thing that I worked on, so I was so busy, like I was saying, that, and you just get to a point where you don't want to use your brain anymore after work. I mean, that's kind of how I was feeling in the last few weeks. So I just didn't feel motivated to pick up some of the things that I was motivated to stitch before, like the Winter Wonderland or Christmas Wonderland by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and my unicorn charts, the Judith Kirby houses. Those are two big projects that I'm super excited to finish, but I just didn't have the brain power to pick those up this time, which is kind of sad. But they're still in my basket out in the living room where I sit and stitch, and I'm gonna get back to them. I just didn't do it this time. But then I was thinking, okay, what is something small that is near a finish that I could pick up and just feel, like I did something. And so I picked up this one again. If you guys saw my whip parade, it was a mid-year whip parade that I posted. You saw this. This is from Lindy Stitches. This was a pattern that she offered that actually was a class in the Jingle Ball of 2024. And so I purchased the pattern in the class, and I had started this one with the Santa, and I don't have a before picture, but I basically just had the top part done the last time I showed you, and I finished it. So that is this one here. And this one is stitched on, let me find my notes here. This one is stitched on 16 count, Picture This Plus, Ada in the color Fog. So it is ready to be turned into a stocking. So I'm gonna go into my fabric stash and find a backing fabric. And I don't have access to those finishing videos anymore that she shared on the Jingle Ball. Obviously, I think you only have access to those for like 30 days after the class. But I think I'm gonna stitch them like, kind of like I did the pillow, and then just not fill them. So like stitch along here, and then just leave this open here at the top, and and maybe like stick some mini candy canes or something in it, and make an ornament for the tree. We have a little tree that sits here during the holiday season, and we put all of our stuff on it that the kids have made in school and that I've made over the years. This will go there this year, and I'm excited to start the other two. I'd like to finish all three. So I think I'm gonna do the reindeer one next, which is this one, which is really cute. So yeah, hopefully I will I'm gonna make a point to make some time to fully finish this, so you'll see that next time. And maybe I'll get a start on this other one too between now and then, because it didn't take too long. I don't know why I let it set like that for so long. So I'm glad I pulled that one back out. The next thing that I worked on was, you guys may remember, I had started this one as part of a birthday sal with Lacey at the Sleepy Stitcher. She hosted a sal back in March this year, and she invited anyone to participate and choose something colorful and full coverage. So this is my full cover, my first full coverage that I have ever started. I started it first. You guys, I think I shared it you guys have seen it. I think it was in the whip parade that I shared. I think so, yeah. That I had started it on like a Lugana, and it just got too hard to to move around. You know, there's a lot of confetti stitching here. If you're interested, this is where I found this pattern on Etsy, and this is the shop information. But this one has, I think this is like 350 by 350. It is huge. And it has over 100, maybe like 120 in that range of DMC. I'm using all the called for DMC. But I just love this map of Magic Kingdom in Disneyland. We're huge Disney fans here, and I'd love to have this finished one day and hang in here in my office / craft room. But I had shared with you guys the last time in the Wood Parade that I just couldn't continue on that Lugana. It was just too hard to count through all without, you know, feeling like I was going to make a mistake on using Lugana. So I found just a cheap Ada on 1-2-3 Stitch, and I got a restart on it. And so this is as far as I got. I've got the stocking one behind it. That's what was showing through. Sorry about that. So I had told you guys last time that this Ada that I got from 1-2-3 Stitch was super, super scratchy and rough and stiff, and I didn't care for it. And so I'd asked for your suggestions on like softening it up, and there were so many suggestions last video, so thank you so much for that. I ended up taking one of your suggestions. Several of you had suggested just to rinse it with like hot to warm water, and to rinse all the starch out, and then either just lay it flat to dry, which is what I did, and then I got impatient and threw it in the dryer. But it worked. It's fine, and it is softer. I think just the fabric itself is just stiff. I don't think it's going to get any softer than that, but it is much better. So I got another start, not very far. This is actually the castle. I started in the center. Again, this is just I want to say like a 14, is it 14 count? Let me see if I have it in my notes. No, it's 16 count. So this is just a 16 count Ada. But I started right in the center, so right in this area here. Anyway, so this one is all digital. I have it, I have the pattern on my iPad, and I just, you know, zoom in on my iPad, and it works really well to get in do all that confetti stitching, but I'm going to try to, you know, continue to just be mindful of this in my rotation, and put a stitch or two in at least every few days or so, or once a week, just so I can continue to make progress on that one. Let's see, the next one I'll show you is, so that was one of my SALs that I'm working on. The other one that I'm currently working on is this one here called Away We Ride. So this one is a SAL that I'm actually co-hosting with my friend Megan at the Sassy Southern Stitcher. And we started this one, I think it was July 15th. And I haven't gotten very far, so don't get too excited. But I'm stitching mine on, let's see, it's this really pretty 28 count Seraphim Lugana in the color Fool's Gold. And I had to change up some of the colors. I'll show you versus the, or next to the pattern here. So you can see there's a lot of like the same color of that orange in the fabric. So I may have to switch up those colors a little bit. Otherwise, I'm just using the called for DMC. But this, what I had showed you last time, I think I have a before picture actually. So you can see what I did. So not much, but I did put in, you can tell like this darker color here and here, that's what I did. So not a whole lot of progress, but some. And this is another one that I'd like to just continue to put a stitch in here and there and just keep it going. I would like to finish it this season, but I don't know if I will or not. And then I don't know if I'm going to stitch this whole border. I may change it up just a little bit. But I really like the saying. It's really, really cute and spooky for Halloween. I really like the crows too. So yeah, stitching along with this one with Megan. And if you want to stitch it with us, we'll be stitching on it for a while. I don't know how far Megan has gotten on hers. You'll have to let me know, Megan, if you're watching this, like where you are in the process of stitching yours. But I've got a long way to go. So if you want to stitch it with us, please join us. And you can share your progress over on Instagram if you're there. So there's that one. And then the last one that I worked on was the reason that the idea that I had to go along with this house. So this one is the Tiny Modernist Halloween calendar. I've shared this one quite a bit. I was inspired to stitch this by Adelaide from Adelaide Stitches. She finished hers last year. So I don't know if you guys follow her or saw this, but if you don't, you should go over to her channel and go back to her old videos, especially this season. It would be fun to go back and watch. But every single day in October last year, she stitched one of these a day, and she finished the whole calendar by Halloween. And it is amazing. She did it all on one piece, and really inspired me to stitch it, to get the patterns and stitch it. And so I started, I don't know when I started this, shortly after that probably, but I decided to stitch, I'm going to stitch all of these individually, because I wanted to create an advent calendar out of it. I decided to stitch mine all individually, like I said, and you have seen it up to day 3. I was like partially finished with day 3. So I'll show you all those together if you haven't seen them, just so you can kind of catch up. Let me get them situated on this board. So I picked this one up. This was when my brain could not handle very much this past month. I thought this would be just a fun one to kind of go back to, and it was. So these are the first ones that I have shared with you that I have finished. 1, 2, and 3. When I showed you 3 last time, I think I had like the bats in and I had just started the moon. So I finished up number 3. This is stitched on, let's see, I wrote it down. 16 count, Picture This Plus Haunted. It's a perfect color for this. The colors look really good on this. This actually comes across as black, but it's a really dark navy color, which I really like. The colors that she uses, like to really bring in the light on the candy corn and the moon. It's just awesome. The details are amazing. I love this pattern. So I stitched quite a few more since you've last seen this. So I finished number 4, the haunted house. Love that purple and orange together, always. And then I also finished number 5, which is super cute. It's the little werewolf. And I finished number 6, which is the cauldron, the bubbly cauldron. So I am going to, I've got my fabric all cut here. I just have like a big chunk of it and I just cut the pieces because like I said, I'm going to finish them all individually. And I just use this little wooden hoop here. I think I got it at Hobby Lobby, but I'm ready to go to start number 7. So I'm really going to push hard to try to finish these as soon as I can. I don't want to say that I'm going to have it done by Halloween, but that is my goal because, and I was thinking originally that I was going to try to finish these like in such a way, like back them with a magnet or something, and then like create a calendar like on a large magnet so that I could, you know, each day of October, we could count down the days to Halloween. That was like my initial plan. But now I think I'm going to finish them and put them in this. So I don't know, they're small enough and I think they're gonna fit. I've figured out how many I need per shelf to get them all to fit. There's 31 blocks. But if I finish them thin enough and small enough, I think that they will fit and it will be really fun where I can just, I was thinking maybe I could, like, whatever backing fabric I choose, just turn them around. So like at the start of the month, before we start counting down, just turn them all backwards. And then, you know, on the first day, flip one around, and the second day, and then like that, where they stay in here all the time, and then I just flip them. Or I could store them somewhere else and then just add one to the house. But then the idea would be like for Halloween, all 31 of them would be in this house. So you'll have to stay tuned to see how that turns out. I like that idea. I'm excited about that idea. And then that just means I'm going to have to find another home for these, which we do have. We have dough bowls and things around the house where I could put these in as well. And I do want to finish some more Victoria Sampler Halloween and fall related ones too. So these can just live somewhere else. I will just stand them up and fill it up and put this somewhere where we have like access to it, where we'll see it every day and just count down the days to Halloween. So I'm really excited about that. And that was all I had to show you today, cross stitch related. I wish I would have gotten more finished, but that's okay. Like I said, for plans, I'm definitely going to work on that calendar. That's going to be a major thing. And if I start burning out on it, that happens sometimes when I go ham on a project and I need a break, then I'll take a break and maybe go back to like the stockings, the little stockings, or one of the SALs that I'm working on. So that's my plans. I'm also gonna probably film like a fall house tour and just do like a Flosstube extra. So look forward to that. And I'll start pulling out Halloween decorations soon, and I'll share those too. I always share that stuff in stories on Instagram first. So if you're following me on Instagram, you'll see it there. But I think there's 2 more things that I wanted to do before I let you go. One is just a little bit of haul that I had. So I pre-ordered the Witchy Stitching book by Meg Black, the Witchy Stitcher, and that came in like a week or so ago, and it is a very, very nice book. If you guys are fans of Megs at all, I would say, I think these are on back order now, but definitely get in line and get you one of these if you are a fan of her work, because this is a very, very nice quality book. I was super impressed. There's lots of little things in here that I would like to stitch, little smalls and things that they'll make great, you know, little pillows or ornaments for trees if you do spooky trees. But this is a great buy. I would recommend this to anybody who is a fan of hers. It is excellent quality. So that was my one little piece of haul. And then now all I have left are the giveaways. So if you saw my last video, you know that recently I hit 5,000 subscribers here on YouTube, Flosstube, and I had several things that I wanted to give away just to thank you guys for watching and coming back and giving me so much support in the comments. You're always so nice, and your comments are so kind. So I wanted to give back a little bit, and I had 5 things that I wanted to give away. So I have some winners here, and I'll announce those now. So the first one is we had these. These are from the Historical Sampler Company. They're purple bats, floss drops. There's plenty here for a spooky project. And to enter this, all you had to do was add the word bat to your comment in my last video. And the winner is Jill Dunlop 3549. So congratulations, Jill. You're the winner of the bats. The second one is, again, just a little grouping here of floss drops from the Historical Sampler Company. These are pumpkins, and then there's also just 3 miscellaneous Christmas ones that I included here. And the winner of the pumpkins is Anna Knowles. So congratulations, Anna. You win the pumpkins. The third one is my last little set of floss drops here. These are black spiders that are super fun for Halloween stitching. Plenty on here for an entire project for you. And the winner of this one is Sue Allen 9077. So congratulations, Sue. You win the spiders. The next thing that I was going to give away is a collection of Nurge hoops. So these are pretty new. I'm brand new. I think I've only used one of them one time. And that was enough for me to realize that I'm not really a fan of Nurge hoops, but I know a lot of you are. And so I wanted to offer this up as a set to one lucky winner. And that winner is Kitmar 1667. So congratulations to you. You win the hoops. The last 2 things that I have are the big ones. So I'm giving away 2 of these houses from Michael's. It's this Halloween house again. I have 2 of them here. Oops. 2 of them here, still in the bubble wrap. They actually went on sale, and I picked 2 of them up. I know some of you had a hard time finding them in your stores. So I wanted to pick those up and give those away as part of this big 5K giveaway. And the winner of the first one is Joanne Fry -HD7NI. So congratulations, Joanne. You win one of these houses. And the second one is Tracy Billings 9869. So congratulations to you both. I will get all of this stuff out into the mail for you all. If you'll send me your mailing address, if you'll email that to me, I'll leave my email address in the description box below, and I'll get those. I want to make sure that I find like a nice box for those houses for sure, and just package everything up so it arrives to you safely. I don't want anything broken. So probably in the next week or so, as soon as I get your addresses, I can send those out, get them packaged up, and get them sent out to you as quickly as possible. So I hope you all enjoy. Thank you all so much for the kind comments again, for entering the giveaways, and just supporting my channel. I really appreciate it, and hopefully you liked what you saw today, and I will see you this time next month. Happy stitching!